Good afternoon. You're probably wondering why the VP of IT is up here to introduce the keynote speaker. Our speaker today taught me all that I need to know. Unless this really sucks, we are doing it wrong. Tom Baker is my uncle, my friend, my mentor, and a military veteran for our country. His father, the late Lloyd Baker, Sr. Webster, was a career 27-year Army Sergeant Major, and Tom's late brothers, Lloyd Jr. and Bob, my father, were all veterans. Tom has an associate's degree in forestry. He spent 45 years in the timber industry. His hobbies include adventure racing, running, cycling, swimming, and pretty much any activity that causes intense suffering for himself and others. Tom served as a decorated soldier, if you'll see on the next slide. His accolades are many. He served in the Army as part of the 101st Airborne Division and as a door gunner for the 1st Cavalry. Tom served during the Vietnam War era, and this is a time when soldiers fought a war abroad and returned to a country that didn't really celebrate its warriors. It shamed them in many ways. No parades to welcome back signs at airports. They endured name calling and being spat upon. While this is arguably one of our low points honoring our veterans, I'm proud to say that we've come a long way to celebrate them now. Tom has seen and done things in combat that most of us in this room tell me some of his experiences in combat, but I've also given him space to not talk about a lot of it. Tom is proud to have served our country, and I'm proud to call him family. Tom is president of the Jackson County Veterans Support Organization. He's passionate about helping other veterans with all sorts of needs. Whether it be helping with the VA, organizing veterans events, leading panel discussions, being a shoulder for other vets to lean on for comfort and many times tears, or just being there to give a veteran some space while giving comfort of solidarity amongst soldiers with unspoken words. He's a role model I hope to someday emulate. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Tom Baker as our keynote speaker.
Thank you, Scott, for that fine introduction. Thank you, Dr. Thomas, for allowing me to be part of the Veterans Day activities here. Thank you, Commissioners, Vice Chief, distinguished guests, and thank all of the vets out there. Now, I know you've been up and down a little bit, but I would like for you to stand one more time. If you're a veteran, please stand up and be recognized. Your service. We hear that a lot today. Most of the times the people that say it are fairly sincere. But there was a time, I want to regress just a minute and tell you that when Tony Knox first came to me and asked me if I might be a guest speaker, how do you spell panic? I'm thinking, what in the world could I say that would be relevant at the fine, great institution, and I mean that, it's SCC's world-class institution. And I thought, I don't want to embarrass Scott, and I sure don't want to embarrass my wife, who just retired from Western Carolina University from the English department. So I had to remain calm and return fire. After a couple of days, a little light started flickering on in my poor deprived brain, and I'm thinking that SCC is a school, a great school where learning is paramount. And I thought, well, I'd like to talk about a lesson that I learned at a place where some call the University of Vietnam, the curriculum of life. So bear with me, and I'll soon get to my main point. both Scott and Tony said that I need to tell them a little bit about myself, and Scott did in a great fashion. I am a forester and a logger. I'm an Army brat. I was born in Fort Knox. My father was an old brown boot sergeant major. If you've ever seen the movie We Were Soldiers, Sam Elliott's character, Sergeant Major Brimley, I believe was his name. My father was just a little less gruff than he was. But we lived in Germany a couple of years, lived in Fort Pickett, Virginia for a couple of years, and then when Dad retired, we moved to downtown Webster. I had to walk to school every day. It was a tough walk, quarter of a mile uphill both ways. But me and my brothers were the only kids that did police call in the morning before we went to school. Nobody else seemed to know what that was. I was 18 when I joined the Army, having just finished high school, and barely got my name correct on the SAT. I knew Uncle Sam would be coming after me, so I joined. I just signed up for Airborne Infantry, 11 Bravo, hoo-ah, gung-ho. Bobby, Scott's father, was already in, so was Roy. Bobby was an Army security agency. And Roy, bless his heart, was an MP. Bob and I finally forgave him that after a few years, but we were all in. I got out of jump school after advanced infantry training, and I was young and gung-ho, and I wanted to be a ranger. I wanted to get into ranger school. Well, Uncle Sam had other plans. For some reason, a little place called Keynote was getting hammered pretty heavy. This was the Tet Offensive, and it was in full swing. And the only way they were getting much resupply in there was out of C-123s and C-130s, and somebody had to rig out the skid loads. So when I got out of rigger school, they sent me to a place called Fubai, which is not too awful far away. We rigged out skid loads that kept the Marines halfway supplied in Quezon. That was March of '68. My battalion was in need of extra grunt troops. They formed a quick reaction force. The main units were pretty busy, and the quick reaction force, we did some village sweeps. We did security on the Green Line, and I signed up for that. We humped a lot, but we did not hump all the time, so it was kind of like I seen the war up close and personal, and then I seen, forgive me, the rear echelon, where we fought a lot amongst ourselves. It was a tough time in '68. They had just killed Martin Luther King. They had just killed Bobby Kennedy, and there was a lot of tension, especially in the rear echelon areas. I actually felt better. It was better for me to be in the field. Now, don't get me wrong, it was hot. It was 114, 115 degrees many days, 90-95% humidity. Thick jungle you just couldn't crawl through without a machete. It was one of those things where the VC and the NBA put up a lot of booby traps. So you had to pay attention or you wasn't coming out of there. Did that for about 4 months. And the first sergeant, I'd already talked to him one time about trying to get out of there, and he said, "Baker, the only way you're getting out of here is in a body bag, or you could be dumb enough to be a door gunner." Well, I always wanted to fly, and I thought, okay, that's for me. Had no real idea how many door gunners they were losing. But I'd already signed on the bottom line, so here we go. Now, I'm asking you to bear with me. It gets a little more serious here. Transferred to the first cab. It was a hell of a unit. It was hardcore, very, very tough outfit. I killed my first human being when I was 19 years old. I had to put my first American soldier in a body bag when I was 19 years old. We flew into a lot of hot LZs. Not all of them were hot, but enough of them. I got shot down one time. I went down one time with mechanical failure. I was lucky. They were hard landings, but they were not the crash and burn. I lost several of my friends. Patrick O'Shaughnessy was my best friend from Wheeling, West Virginia. That's a lot for a 19-year-old boy to go through. But there were many that seen a lot worse. I made E5 before I left the 101st, and when I got to the 1st of the night, I was like a ranking door gunner. So for H Troop, first cab, in what call them companies as troops. I guess that comes from the cavalry days. And H Troop, headquarters troop. And so they made me the door gunner for commanding officer of first of the night, Colonel Williamson. Now, if you've seen the movie Apocalypse Now, first of the ninth was that outfit that had the surfing colonel. Colonel Williamson took his place. Williamson didn't serve, but he was crazy. He was a gung-ho, tough individual. We, as the command and control chopper, we were in every fight that Alpha Troop or Bravo Troop or Charlie Troop of the first of the night was in. We were right there. The crazy thing about Williamson is that he liked to fly right over the fight, about 100 feet above the treetop level. Charlie kept me busy, and we wound up having a lot of co-pilots that did not appreciate Colonel Williamson's desire to be close to the battle. So they would transfer in and transfer out. But Colonel Williamson was, he was crazy, but he was a gutsy individual. And some of the bravest people I ever seen were those young pilots. I say young, they were 20, just a few months older than me. They would go into places and take troops in and get the wounded out that the medevac choppers wouldn't go in. It was just too hot. They were unarmed. And we would go down into the fight and get these guys. Now, the main lesson here, and I want you to listen up, is coming up. I loaded white guys, wounded white guys in my chopper. I loaded wounded black guys in my chopper. Native Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans. And at the end of the day, when I was tasked with washing the blood out of the chopper, I noticed that all the blood is the same color. We all bleed the same color. In combat units especially, you don't care what the color of the skin is of the man that's got your back. And he doesn't care about the name that you use for God. You've got each other's back. And that's a lesson that in today's world, with all the hoopla going on in the country and across the world, that we need to remember. Now, I want to change here a little bit. Before I close, I'd like to take a minute and tell you about our veterans group. The Jackson County Veterans Support Group is an unaffiliated group of young veterans and some of us older veterans, male and female. And I'm currently president of that group. We put on a few activities. Scott's been involved in the hump that we do on Mount Heritage Day to bring attention to all the suicide these young vets are committing. We have another program called Unseen Scars, and it's a roundtable discussion by combat vets, both male and female, of their experiences, not only in the war zones, but coming back to family life or to school. Now, this is our third year, and it happens tonight at the UC, the University Center. They're on campus, and it would be a great opportunity for you to hear some of these young soldiers' stories. So I would greatly appreciate if some of you weren't too busy tonight to come and listen. Now, and as Forrest Gump once famously said, and that's all I've got to say about that. So thank you all for being here. Thank you, veterans, for your service. And hopefully we'll see you tonight. And God bless America.